Hey, it's David Steno with tonight's deep dive. It is March 21st, 2018, and tonight we're going to be looking at copper. The long ETF is CPER. And where we stand right now is kind of negative, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. But the short, intermediate, and long term trends are all pointing to the downside. The technical rating is pointing to the downside, and there's nothing that's shown in the seasonals or any of the elastic levels, wave levels, power levels that are really giving us any indication that there's anything that's stopping the market. But thankfully, what we have is the ProAlerts here, and ProAlerts has a T rope low. T rope is just an abbreviation or just a shortening of tightrope. And what it does is it's looking at the market, in this case copper, having come down to its 200-day moving average, and it's running basically a tightrope around it. Now, there's support to the market. You can see that the market, these are daily bars. It came down, it came right down to the 200-day moving average, and that coincides with this support level. And with the way that the market is moving right now, it had better stop and do a bit of a reversal. As I'm doing this, the markets are it's about 6:15 p.m. and you can see that the copper market itself has bounced a little bit here, so it's actually holding at this 200-day and this support level. But the key is it going to hold? And so what I want to do is I want to at least show to you what it looks like on a chart here. Again, these are daily bars, and this little crosshair, this plus sign, I know it's very large and it is somewhat translucent, but when you get this particular reference, it just simply means that this is an environmental change where the market does a couple of different things. It's not necessarily calling for a bottom, but what it's doing is it's telling you that the market has come down to a critical level. It's not just coming down to the 200-day moving average and reacting. It's how it's reacting to that 200-day moving average. And when we get that unique footprint, if you will, then we generate this the signal. So the fact that it's come down, it's found support, and it's bouncing above, it has a way of telling you that it's like a wake-up call for the market. Is the market really going to hold support here, and should you be watching this market very, very closely? That is the intention of this particular ProAlert. So it's under the environmental change, not a reversal, it's not a profit taking, it's an environmental change, and it's telling you that something critical is happening in the way that it's meandering in and around that 200-day moving average. And when we get that, we're going to trigger this alert, and that's what it's referencing. So as it stands right now, a couple things to realize that with the close of today, this is that support level that I was referring to. You can see that there's some just slight resistance above it, nothing dramatic right there. But the thing I want to point out is that there's a major gap between the support that we're at right now in copper. Let me just pull this up so you can see it's copper. And there's major gap here, this support gap. If this does not hold, then we would expect that market to fall off very, very quickly, meaning that on a daily, a weekly, and even on an intraday basis, there's really no major support that you can point to of any high strength. And if we should break that, that's where we're looking at. So 2.961 is the target should we break this this level that we're at right now. 3.046 is the number, the support level, and if we should break that, you can see that there's a major gap between there. That's a lot of money to be had. Now, as far as our systems go, this is the metal sector where we're long gold, got a nice little profit per market or per contract. Here is copper, and copper has a nice little open position profit on the short side. So we're actually really looking at this particular market, and I guess for our purpose, being greedy, we would be looking for the market to sell off. This is a basically just a drawdown metric. It's called UVI, which stands for Underwater Volume Index chart. This goes back about 3 years, and I just want to point out the market was at new highs. It sold off. It consolidated, had a pop. It consolidated, had a pop to the market, and this has been a volatile but sideways consolidation. Is there going to be a pop to the upside and we hold at this T rope 200-day moving average support and that support level that I was talking about just a second ago, or is the market going to sell off? So as it stands right now, the fact that the market, copper in itself, has been trending to the downside and the systems are short this particular trend, this volatile pop, but still nonetheless a trend to the downside, we're still short the market, and we'll see as or not the market is able to rally enough that would justify liquidating the position, or is it going to once again test the 200-day moving average and then really start to sell off? For our positions right now within copper, we have two systems that are short copper and something that we'll just simply wait and see how things kind of play out here. But that's the main reason I wanted to sort of point this out, that at least we're seeing something that is strong enough that was able to trigger as an environmental change, and the change meaning the T-rope, that it's worth watching this particular market. And if it does break that support level, then if you're short, then you're cool. If you're long, you want to be able to liquidate your position fairly quickly because of that support gap, that gap in the levels of support. So if you are trading copper, and specifically on the long side, it's not necessarily a call to action to liquidate, but it's a call to action to watch that if we should break that level, then you're going to have to take action. Otherwise, you should be fine. On our side, hopefully without any problems, that some of our other systems will trigger on the long side and help to hedge and offset some of the risk that we're having. But we've got a nice profit that's underway. Even if we give back a little bit of money, it's not a big deal on our side. But watch this particular level, watch these support levels if you're trading copper, and we will take a look at another market tomorrow. Thanks for watching.